I just saw this headline. It's in French, so I've just used the Google Translate here in the browser. And it's about the seminary of the Fraternity of St. Peter. And I think people will remember that Pope Francis met with them after the traditional custard document that was issued. And he met with them and he said that they could continue to celebrate the traditional Latin Mass. We all saw that famous photo. And now they've gone to Ars, which they go through to every year, and back to school pilgrimage, back to seminary pilgrimage of the Fraternity of St. Peter. Mass forbidden by an increasingly Bergogliaized bishop. More Bergoglian than Francis, Bishop Pascal Roland. Every year, St. Peter's fraternity, the FSSP, this is the group of priests who left the Society of St. Pius X and have canonical status in the church. So these are canonical, and the Pope has said that they can continue to use the traditional Latin Mass and other traditional rites. So anyway, they've organised a re-entry pilgrimage of its seminary with a solemn high mass in the Basilica Church of Mercy of Ars, as every year. This mass had been explicitly authorised by the parish priest of the Basilica. But lightning came from the bishopric of the Bishop Pascal Roland, Bishop of Béliars, fulminated against the traditions who do not obey the traditional custard document that Pope Francis, who intended to celebrate in the extraordinary form of the Roman. I find it incredible that the bishop has actually gone against Pope Francis, because Pope Francis has said that they can continue to celebrate the traditional Latin Mass. He met with them. There's a photo there with them. What is extraordinary is that the FSSP, we still do not understand and are surprised, because finally all pledges have been given. Silence on papal accesses, invocations of the saints, Pope Paul VI and Pope John Paul II, study of the Second Vatican Council and seminaries, etc. You see, this is what happened. They've accepted everything that Rome has said to them. They've accepted everything that the church has asked them to accept. You know, they accept Second Vatican Council. They accept that Novus Ordo is valid. They've accepted the saints. They've accepted everything. And yet, they will be excluded. Anyway, look, I do ask us to go on and listen to the rest of this. I just think it's crazy. In the letter of the 11th of July 2022, the bishop says, in the Diocese of Béliars, Bishop Pascal Roland prohibits any traditional Latin Mass in the Basilica of Ars. The Holy Priest of Ars must return to his hunt. Bishop Pascal Roland, who also declares that anyone who wants to hear his furious hostility against Ecclesia Dei communities forbade the traditional Latin Mass in the sanctuary. I find this quite incredible, that the Fraternity of St. Peter is not allowed to celebrate the same Mass that the Cure of Ars celebrated. Saint Jean Marie Vianney. It's amazing. Priests are not allowed to celebrate the same Mass that Saint Jean, the Cure of Ars, Saint Jean Marie celebrated. This is where the church has lost the plot. It's lost the plot. I mean, the Pope has met with them and he said you can continue to celebrate it. Yet they are, they're second-class Catholics, or not even Catholics, it seems, in the way that they are treated in some places. This is Bishop Ireland. If people remember history, Bishop Ireland, John Ireland in the US, some Greek Catholics came over from Eastern Europe to the US in the last century, and a priest arrived. He was a married priest of the Greek Catholic Rite, the Eastern Rite, and he came over, and the bishop was furious with him. He said, "You're not a real priest." They had an awful argument, and Bishop Ireland, this Catholic bishop, he was the best promoter for Orthodox Christians in the US, because he actually drove priests out of the Catholic Church. He drove Catholics in communion with Rome out of the Catholic Church, because we're not allowed to have diversity anymore. It's quite incredible. Anyway, this is it. So I leave it here for you to to review. But very sad time in the church. Very sad time. I think the church has lost the plot. Completely lost the plot when it comes to what we hold sacred, to the Eucharist. And we'll see where this goes. Anyway, pray for the church. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.